The day she filed for divorce, she wore white. Not bridal white. War white.
The signature line
The kind of white
right
that
here.
said she had already
Let's
decided the war
finalize
was
this
over.
today.
And she had one. She sat across from me in the lawyer's office with her chin lifted.
I believe this is
Her diamond ring gone,
discussed.
her mouth
Sign
curled
here
into that
and we can
cold little
finalize
smile
this
I had
today.
come to hate. Beside her was her attorney, a man with polished shoes and a practiced voice. And beside me was the empty chair where my trust had once lived. She did not look at me when she spoke. "I want my share of everything," she said. "The house, the savings, the business accounts, and alimony. I gave him the best years of my life. He can pay for that. Best years." That was what she called the years I spent building the life she now wanted to tear apart. I looked down at the settlement papers on the table. Her signature line waited like an open grave. My name was Daniel Carter, 39 years old. Owner of a logistics company that started with one borrowed truck and a second-hand laptop in a cramped apartment with broken heat. I built it from nothing. I built it while she slept through early alarms, while she mocked my long hours, while she told her friends I was always chasing money like some desperate man. And now she wanted to leave with half of it, maybe even more. She didn't know that the man she married had changed. She thought she was divorcing the same soft, forgiving fool who used to apologize even when he was bleeding from the inside. She had no idea she had just handed the knife to someone who had learned how to cut back. The lawyer cleared his throat. "Mr. Carter, are you prepared to respond?" I lifted my eyes to hers.
It's the only copy.
For the
We
first
have to
time
get this
that
out
day,
tonight.
she met my gaze.
Consider it done. Where do we meet
There
next?
it was. The confidence, the greed,
can never know about
the absolute conviction that I would
Understand the
fold,
risk.
I know,
because I
but
always
can't
had
keep
before.
lying.
You have to.
She thought I would beg. She thought I would panic. She thought I would try to save the marriage she had already murdered instead. I smiled, and her face changed. Not much. Just enough for a crack to appear under the polished mask. "Actually," I said, sliding a folder across the table. The folder landed in front of her attorney with a soft thud. Inside were bank statements, investment records,
I cannot believe
email
you would
prints,
do this to me after
screenshots,
everything we talked about.
property documents,
you
and
need to
one
calm
very
down and
carefully
listen to me for
prepared
a second.
timeline. Her lawyer
I told
opened
you
it.
this would happen.
His
How could
expression
you be
shifted
so
as he read.
irresponsible?
My
I
wife's
understand
smile
your
vanished.
frustration, but yelling
"What
won't
is
solve
this?"
anything.
she demanded.
It's over, and there's
"Evidence,"
nothing
I
you
said.
can do to change my
The court,
mind.
her attorney looked up. "Mr. Carter,
She's pregnant.
these documents suggest..." "That's
I'm
right,"
leaving
I
you.
said. "They suggest a lot."
I never loved you.
I leaned back in my chair and let the silence breathe. Then, I said the words she would remember for the rest of her life. "You wanted a divorce? Fine, but you should have been smarter about how you lied." She stiffened. "Excuse me?" "You heard me." Her voice rose. "I haven't lied about anything." I almost laughed. Almost. But this was not the moment for laughter. This was the moment for surgery. I had spent 6 months preparing for this day. 6 months of acting normal. 6 months of pretending not to notice the secret phone she hid in the laundry room. 6 months of pretending not to hear her late-night calls from the patio. 6 months of pretending not to know that my wife had been meeting my business partner in hotel parking lots and rooftop bars while she told me she was visiting her sister. She had been planning her escape, so had I. I watched her eyes dart to the folder in her lawyer's hands. The first page was a bank. Records showing she had quietly transferred money from our joint savings into a private account under her maiden name. The second page was a series of credit card charges for luxury items, all tagged to the business account she had no legal right to use. The third page was the real.
I believe this is
Knife
everything
dot
we discussed.
messages dot her
Sign
messages.
here and we can
Not just with
finalize
my
this
business
today.
partner Ethan, with her sister, with a friend, with a divorce mediator she had contacted before she even told me she was
The
unhappy.
signature line is
And
right
then,
here. Let's
final
finalize
piece.
this today.
A forensic accounting summary proving that she had been siphoning company funds for nearly a year. Her attorney's expression went pale. "Mrs. Carter, did you authorize these transfers?" She turned to him in horror. Of course, I did not. He made those up. But she was already losing him. People like to say truth is powerful because it sets you free. That is not true. Truth is powerful because it isolates liars. And in that room, my wife was suddenly alone. She slapped the table. You invaded my privacy. No, I said quietly. You destroyed your own. She stood so fast, her chair tipped backward. You think you can humiliate me like this? After everything I sacrificed for you? I let the silence settle again before I answered. You sacrificed nothing, I said. You waited. That hit harder than anything else. Because it was true. She had not built with me. She had observed me, measured me, waited until my work bore fruit, until my company became stable, until our house in the hills looked expensive enough to photograph, until the people around us started calling her a successful woman. Then, she decided she deserved to leave with the reward. She had mistaken patience for love and generosity for weakness. I watched her gather herself, her breathing sharp and uneven. You'll pay for this, I nodded once. No,
It's the only
you
copy.
will.
You have to get this
The
out
lawyer
tonight.
intervened.
Consider
Perhaps
it done.
we should recess.
Where do we
No,
meet next?
I said. Both of them looked at me. I reached into my inner jacket pocket and placed a second envelope on the
I
table.
know, but I can't keep lying.
This one is for your insurance company, I told her. This one is for the tax office. This one is for the board of directors. And this one, I slid the last envelope toward her, is for Ethan's wife. She froze. The room went still. Her face drained of color so quickly it looked as if someone had pulled the blood right out of her. What did you do? She whispered. I met her gaze without blinking. I stopped
I
pretending.
cannot believe you would do
Her
this to
mouth
me after
opened.
everything we
No
talked
words
about.
came out
Baby,
because now
you
she
need to calm down and listen to me
understood
for a
this was
second.
not just about divorce.
I told you this would happen.
This
How could
was
you
not
be
just
so
about money.
irresponsible?
This was
I
about the
understand your
empire.
frustration, but
She
yelling
thought
won't
she could
solve
steal
anything.
while smiling in my
It's
face.
over, and there's
I
nothing
had
you
already
can do to change my mind.
taken the map 3 months earlier. I had
She's
noticed the
pregnant.
first crack. It was small at first,
I'm leaving
the way
you.
all betrayals are.
I never
A notification
loved
on her watch when she left it on the kitchen counter. A message preview from a number saved under a fake contact name. A perfume I did not recognize on her jacket. A sudden interest in self-care weekends that always seemed to coincide with business trips. Never heard about, I told myself. I was being paranoid. That was the first mistake. Second mistake was letting love make me slow. By the time I hired a private investigator, the shape of the whole thing had started to emerge. She and Ethan were not just having an affair. They were plotting. They thought I was too busy running the company to notice the quiet extraction of value from it. They thought the money moving through the books would disappear into the fog of subcontractors, fuel costs, and shipping contracts. They thought they were brilliant. They were reckless. Every greedy person believes they are the first greedy person in history to be clever. They are almost never the first. The investigator gave me dates, photos, copies of receipts, and surveillance footage, hotel lobby meetings, late night dinners, their hands touching across tables, her head on his shoulder in a parked car. Outside a wine bar 2 hours from home, the betrayal would have been enough. But then I found the real
I believe
reason
this is
she was
everything
not
we
just leaving me
discussed.
for another man.
Sign
She was
here
leaving.
and we can finalize
Because
this
Ethan told
today.
her I was done. Phrase echoed in my head for days. Done. He had promised her the company was vulnerable.
The signature
He had
line
promised
is
that
right
if she
here.
played her part,
Let's
she could
finalize
walk
this
away with
today.
enough to live like a queen. He had promised to help her push me into a settlement, then ride off with her once everything was transferred. He had made a mistake. He had underestimated the man he was stealing from. I did not confront her right away. That would have been... Emotions make people sloppy. So I got organized. I moved quietly. I duplicated records. I secured accounts. I brought in a forensic accountant and a corporate attorney who owed me a favor. I created a private file for everything. I separated assets. I documented every unexplained transfer. I backed up every message, every voicemail, every calendar entry, every hidden transaction. Then I waited. And while she was planning her grand escape, I built the cage. The divorce meeting was supposed to be her first clean strike. Instead, it became her public execution. After the lawyer's office, She tried to recover. People always do. At first she cried, then she shouted. Then she tried sweet. She called me 7 times before sunset. I ignored all of them. Then she texted.